Hi, welcome to the tutorial for Term 4 Mini Test 2, higher tier. Okay, so we're going to start off with the standard form. Okay, so this term, all the test questions, you can use calculators. So we're going to start by using the calculator for question 1. So all you have to do with that is just simply put them into the calculator. So bracket 4.2 times 10 to the power of, and the power button is this one, and then press 7. Now if you do use this button, the cursor is now behind the 7. So if you put a bracket now, you get a little bracket. So make sure you press the right arrow to bring the cursor down before you continue. And close bracket and then divide. Last week was times. So bracket 3 times 10 to the power of 4. Again, right arrow to bring the cursor down, close bracket, press equal. And it's 1,400. So you write 1,400. However, just double check what they want us to do. They want us to write this as an ordinary number, and this is an ordinary number. Now, if next week they ask you to write this answer as a standard form, make sure is to look like that, something times 10 to the power of, and whatever that number is, it must be between 1 and 10, but not including 10. So the way you look at this is the nearest number between 1 and 10 you can make is 1.4. And how many places you go back is how many you need for the power. Okay, so that's ordinary number and that's standard form. So the next one, so Sally bought a sofa in a sale with 8% off. So that means from 100% original price, it's now dropped by 8%. So it's gone down by 8%. So now the value is going to be worth 92%. Now don't worry, because although the number looks really tough to do, you've got a calculator, so it should be no problem. And 82% represent 2,392, because after it's dropped by 8%, it's now worth 2,392. So therefore, 92% is the 2,392. So what do we do now? We find, using what we call a unitary method, find out what 1% is worth. So to get 1% from 92, you will divide by itself, because 92 divided by 92 is 1. So what you do to one side, you must sort of scale down. So divide that by 92 as well. And so now that's when we bring our calculator back up. So 2,392 divided by 92. And that comes to 26 exactly. So 26 pounds. But we want to find the original price, and the original price is 100%. So to get 100%, you will times 1 by 100, scaling it up by 100. So you must scale that by 100 as well. And that gives you 2,600. Don't think you need a calculator for that. Okay, so just double check, because it's the original price, the price must be more expensive than the sale price. So it looks like that's okay, because it's a nice number as well. That's another hint. Exam is not really trying to fail you. So I think that's correct. Question 3. Use your calculator to work out that. Now it's very easy by just putting all the numbers in the calculator and get an answer. But because it's for 2 marks, you need to show to the examiner what you have on the numerator and what you have for the denominators. Okay, so what I would do is I would put on a calculator, work out what sine 30 degree at 10 125 equal to. So sin 30, make sure you close bracket, and then plus tan, and then 25 close bracket, press equal, you get that. So just write that out to the examiner, just to show that you are working this out using a strategy. So you know that's 966. You don't need to write all the digits, just enough to show that there's this. So usually what I would do is I do dot dot dot, and then work out what the bottom number is, the denominators. So it's 13 times 6.9, and that comes to 89.7. Okay. So it's up to you. Would you like to do all that in a calculator? But what I usually do with my students is that go back to doing that all in one go. Sin 30 close bracket plus tan 25 close bracket. Bring the cursor down to this box. 13 times 6.9. Press equal, and that is actually equal to 0.10379. So I won't try to write all of this, 0.1379 I think. Yeah. But in exam, you do have to write all the figures, but it's not very convenient for me to do that at the moment. Okay. So round this number, just double check, 10379. So I skip that 0. So let's just do that again. 10379. So let's write it out here. So 0.10379. Dot, dot, dot. So to round to 3 significant figure, you want to start from the first digit, even beyond the decimal point. But because this is a naught, it doesn't count as a significant figure. So that means this is your first, second, third. Draw a line, check this number, can it round up because it's bigger than 4? It is bigger than 4, so we can add 1 to the 3. So the answer is 0.104. Okay. Reciprocal. Reciprocal is to turn something into 1 divided by. So reciprocal is to 1 divided by. So therefore, reciprocal of 1.6 is simply doing 1 divided by 1.6. So if you put that in a calculator, 1 divided by 1.6, and that comes to 0.625. That's all. Now, if this exam wasn't a calculator, it's along calculator paper 1, then they would not give you a decimal point. They might give you reciprocal of 2. So reciprocal of 2 is 1 divided by 2, which is 1 over 2 a half. Okay, so you might like to think about this as well, in case it's not a calculator. Okay. Function. Okay, this is quite a big, well, fair amount of a size topic. So in a few weeks' time, the function might change to a -1 perhaps. But this is quite a basic version. So what it's saying is x is now, the function is 2x plus minus 7, and the x, which is inside the bracket, we now know is 3.7. So it's basically substitution into there. So it's 2 times 3.7. And then minus 7. So 2 lots of 3.7 is 7.4. 7.4 take away 7 is 0.4. So there we are. Done. So hopefully that is straightforward enough. I don't really want to talk too much about it because if I talk too much, you might think it's more difficult, but actually it's very, very simple, and it's just complicated things by using special notations. So if you learn those notations, then it's actually meant something quite simple. Question 6. So David and Vicky, they take 1 hour and 50 minutes to get to their holiday cottage. So this is time. Their average speed is, so very important, it's not just speed, an average speed. So the average speed is 56 km per hour. So I use S. So I need to find the distance. So distance is equal to the speed times time. So I say this again. These are my initials. So it may be easier to remember is ST. So D equal to S times T. However, because you need to work out the distance in kilometer and it is in hours, so this must also work in hours. So for 1 mark, you must demonstrate that you change 1 hour 50 minutes to 1 hour. Now 50 minutes is a quarter of an hour. So a quarter of an hour is 0.25, so therefore it's 1.25 of an hour. So therefore it's 56 speed times the time in hour, 1.25, and that comes to 56 times 1.25. 70. Okay, 70 kilometer. So for that given time, so now try to visualize your answer. What does that mean for Vicky and David? Well, 1 hour 50 minutes journey at a speed of 56 kilometers per hour. So that's roughly just about 40 miles per hour in imperial units. So if you're thinking driving at around town for 1 hour 50 minutes, you've covered about 70 kilometers. So yeah, I would say, that sounds about right, because every hour is 56 kilometers. So whatever your answer is shouldn't be double that amount, because it hasn't covered 2 hours. So yeah, so that sounds a bit right. So once again, it's a nice number. So that's another clue. Question 7. Now, just to remind ourselves that probability scale means that if you are certain, 100% certain that something's going to happen, the probability scale is 1. If it's not possible, it's 0% chance, it's 0. So 100%, 0%. But 100% is actually 1. So for all this to happen, they must add up to a probability of 1. So at the moment, from what I'm seeing is, blue has the highest chance of happening. So whatever is inside this bag, the number of balls for blue must be higher than any of those 3. So to find the missing value, you must add up those 4 probabilities and then take away from 1. Okay, so 0.22 add 0.1. A lot of people wrote 0.23. Actually, 0.22 add 1, 0.1. The 1 is actually tenths. So it's adding to this tenths, not the hundredths. So it's actually 0.32. So 0.32 at 0.27 is, you would have used a calculator, but I'm going to do that in my head. So 32 is going to be 59, 0.59 and 0.59, and add another 0.05, that's going to be 0.64. So for working out 1 mark is to get 1, take away 0.64 to show that to the examiner. Your strategy, okay, is more important in the calculator version, that you must demonstrate a strategy. So 1 take away 0.64 is 0.05.